Hi everyone, welcome to rachelpichleryoga. If we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. Today we're doing a nice full body flexibility practice. I'm going to use my block a little bit today. If you've got a pillow or something else you can lay on, it might be useful. But you for sure are going to need just a little bit of space to move, and let's get started. So let's begin today laying down. If you do want to lay on your pillow or your block, I'm going to suggest that it goes underneath your upper back to start. And we're going to kind of be moving our block down our body over the next few moments here. So you can, of course, keep something underneath your head the entire time. If you only have one block to use, you might have to let your head fall back. And if this doesn't feel good for you, you don't have to lay on top of anything. You can lay flat on your back. And then from here, just send your legs out long, maybe together. You may even tuck your elbows into your sides just a bit. Maybe even let your palms face down. A supported fish pose. You might even give your toes a little bit of a point down to the bottom of your mat. And just take a moment here to close your eyes and take a nice big breath in and out. Do that again. Nice deep inhale. And let it go. One more big breath in. And big breath out. Nice, you guys. So we're going to move a little bit here. If you find a place where you want to stay, you can always stay. Or if you try to move your block and it just doesn't feel good, you can go back to where you came from with your block where it was. But if you're following along with me, we're going to slide our block, or maybe it's your pillow, underneath kind of the mid-back area. So now you're going to be arching your back more and resting on the back of your head and even kind of melting into the shoulders here. So see how it feels. Might be a whole lot different, maybe even uncomfortable. Maybe it doesn't feel good. You can always bring your block back up under your shoulders, under your upper back, but we're not going to be here too long. You may continue to point your toes, keep the length through your legs. You may even let your palms face up and bring your arms out a little bit wider. But just take those 3 deep breaths. Close your eyes. Connect with your breath. Notice how your back feels in the position that you are in. Breathe softness into the spine. And then you may, again, stay as you are or go back to where we were. Or we might move our block further down, and this time underneath our low back. So to do this, to move this one, you're going to have to lift your hips. So whether you stay laying down or you come up, slide your block right underneath your low back. You may bend your knees and plant your feet, or you might keep your legs out long, maybe give your toes a little bit of a point, and you might notice that your block needs to come just a little bit further down so that you feel supported by your block. It's not really in the way, you're supporting you. What would you like to do with your arms? Maybe you're resting them at your sides. Maybe now you're reaching your arms above your head, letting your palms face up. Once you've decided where you're going to go, we're just staying for those last 3 breaths. Make these breaths as deep as you'd like. Let go of your day. And after your next exhale, if your arms are above your head, just bring them back to your sides. If your legs are out long, bend them, plant your feet. If you've got a block underneath you anywhere, just sit up a little so that you can slide it out. Connect your low back to your mat and maybe add a gentle rock of your knees side to side. Nice work, you guys. We're going to be rolling over onto our tummies next. I'm just going to turn and face the other way. So maybe you need to rock up onto your hands and knees and then find your tummy. Or simply roll over. But once you are there, you've got two options for your arms. You could stack your palms, rest your forehead on top. Or you could make cactus arms with both of your arms. Rest your left cheek though. And then we're going to start to rotate our hips. So we're going to just try to keep our chest down, our shoulders down, and rotate our hips. So it's like you want to turn over onto your left side. Resisting the urge to move your arms a lot, but a little is completely fine. And maybe taking your right leg, if it's resting on top of the left one or in front of it, you might try to sweep it behind like you're making scissors with your legs. And the more you turn your belly button to the right, the more you turn your hips, trying to stack that right hip on top of the left, the more you might feel a nice twist. And that left arm and shoulder, that cactus arm, you might also get an awesome stretch there. Awesome work, you guys. Use an inhale to slowly turn back over all the way onto your tummy. If your arms did move a little bit, if you were making those cactus arms, just bring them back into those perfect 90-degree angles. If you're stacking your palms, stack the other one on top. Rest your forehead. When you're ready to switch sides, your right cheek can relax down and you can start to roll to the right. Just kind of try to keep your arms where they are as best you can. They can lift and move a little bit. And maybe that left leg sweeps behind the right one, rotating through the hips. Try to find a nice twist here. Open that right arm and shoulder. Awesome work, you guys. Letting an inhale slowly bring you back over onto your tummy. If you're making those cactus arms, you can stack your palms now. Maybe even a nice rock of your hips side to side. If you do have a block to use today, you can also grab it. If not, you can use your hands for this. We're just going to create some nice length through the front of our neck. So you can either rest your jaw, your chin in your palms, lengthening through the front of the neck, letting the back of your head try to find the top of your shoulders. If you do have a block to use, you've got a couple different heights to work with maybe. But just rest your chin right on top. I like to lean my block away slightly. And then just completely melt into it. If you feel comfortable letting go of your block, you can extend your arms out. And when your teeth start to clench together, because this position just, it wants your teeth to clench together, maybe open your mouth slightly. Relax through the jaw. Feel the length through the neck. Your hands are away from your block. You can start to bring them back to it. Just lift your chin slightly so that you can remove whatever it is that was holding your chin up. Bring your forehead back down. Bring the length back into the neck. And just notice how you are feeling so far. And when you're ready to move, just bring your hands under your shoulders. Push yourself up to your knees. So you can either sit, maybe cross-legged, maybe on your heels, maybe in a toe squat if you want to stretch those toes, the bottoms of the feet. But I want your arms to be free and available because we're going to reach our arms out in front. Turn your thumbs down, cross your right hand over the left, interlace your fingers, squeeze your palms together. So you drop your hands down to your belly button. You may be able to pull your hands up towards your chin. Re-grip so that your palms are nice and close together. You can keep your hands here nice and close to your chin, and if you need a little extra for that right forearm and wrist, just pull your hands slightly away from your chin. Some people can straighten their arms all the way. I'm not that type of person. But if that is you, if you're straightening your arms all the way, just make sure your palms are nice and close together. Your hands are holding one another. Awesome work, you guys. Let your hands come back down towards your belly button. Let your arms go. Shake it out for a second when you're ready to switch. The left hand will cross over top of the right one. Palms together. Drop your hands down. Forget about your feet if you're in that toe squat. Bring your hands up to your chin. Maybe re-grip. Bring those palms together. Feel that left forearm now. Maybe pull your hands a little bit further from the chin. But soften your shoulders. Soften your toes. Awesome work, you guys. Slowly bringing your hands back down. Let it go. Shake it out, especially if you're in a toe squat. Shake out those toes. Maybe even your ankles. Let it go. Awesome work, you guys. You can cross your ankles and have a seat. We're going to be bringing our soles, the soles of our feet together, and our knees out wide. Soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Butterfly. Take an inhale to lengthen through your spine. With the exhale, you can tip forwards if you'd like. If you do have a block or a pillow, and folding, tipping forwards, your upper body doesn't want to go too far, you might sit on top of something and see if that maybe allows you to just go a little further forwards. If folding forwards is nice and you do this often, you might actually place something underneath your feet, whether that is your block or your pillow. And you might not use any props at all. So wherever you happen to be, if you did add something under you, just reset, sit tall, and then maybe tip forwards again. Just see how it feels. If it's weird, adjust. If it's different and you like it, stay. Just feel the love through the hips. Check in with the low back. Check in with the shoulders. Let them fall from your ears. If you're tipping forwards, you're just going to use an inhale to find your way back up. You can start to extend your legs out long. We're going to move into a forward fold, and the same thing. If tipping forwards, if your body doesn't want to tip that far, you might be sitting on your block again. If you want to lift your feet again, you can do that too. If you're going to lift your feet though, flex your feet. Keep just a small micro bend in your knees and enjoy the stretch. So decide if you're going to use a prop or no prop at all. Inhale to lengthen and an exhale to fold. Keep that little micro bend through the knees if you are lifting the feet up. Maybe you're able to reach to the other side of your block just to create a bit more length through your upper body. And this might be a fairly active forward fold. And it might feel pretty darn good. Just a few more moments here. I want you to make sure you're keeping that little micro bend through your knees if your feet are lifted. Flex the ankles, point the toes up. Awesome work, you guys. Use an inhale to slowly lift back up. You can bend your knees, plant your feet for a moment, maybe a little hug, a little rock side to side. We're going to be laying on our backs next. And you may be getting rid of the block. So we're going to lay down. And you can hug your knees towards your chest whenever you're ready to do so. Maybe a rock of the knees side to side if your low back wants a nice little massage. And we've got a few options here. So maybe your block or your pillow will slide back under your hips. Maybe you won't use anything here. But we're going to be lifting our legs up. So whether your knees are bent or your legs are straight, might kind of decide if you do have anything underneath your low back. A pillow is a lot softer. A block might be a little jabby in your back right now. But we've got options here. We can just float the legs or we can work on our plow, bringing our feet to the floor above our head. So if you're going to go there, start to lift your low back up off of whatever it was resting on and let the feet float or guide them to the floor above your head. You can start to bend your knees and maybe even move your hands to your low back and try to bring your knees beside your ears for ear pressure pose. Just an option. Wherever you decided to go, wherever you are, enjoy a few breaths. Maybe even closing the eyes if you haven't done so already. If you're bending your knees next to your ears, you're holding onto your low back, you might even bring your hands behind your knees. And slowly as you came in, to the position that you're in. Start to make your way back out. Take your time. Bring the low back down if it's up. Float the feet up if they were on the floor above your head. And eventually let the feet come down to your mat. If you have something underneath your low back, you can slide it out. Once your feet do touch down, it might feel pretty good to rock your knees very slowly, side to side. Notice the sensations running through your body. You might keep your feet planted or pull your knees back to your chest, but keep your low back connected to your mat. And if it feels good to move slowly side to side a little more, add some movement in. Maybe you're gonna start to send your legs out long. Or maybe you're gonna roll over to one side. Use your arm as a pillow. Whatever Shavasana is gonna look like for you today, find your way there and enjoy a few breaths. And as always, I encourage you to stay here for as long as you have time for today. And thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, namaste.